Yo, I can prove that Gypsy Rose had DeeDee Blanchard disabled on the 7th. Here we go. In the interrogation, she says this. I'm going to let you watch it first.
Because they want to know why. That's all they want to know. Okay? That's all they're looking at.
Sir, I have a million questions right now.
Okay? And you know what? And I'm proud of you for wanting to ask those million questions. And you know what? We can answer those, okay?
Okay.
But we got to get down to the bottom of why.
Okay.
The why. And your friends are very, very concerned about you. They all love you. But guess what?
Sure.
Those friends are standing at the bottom of that hill.
I understand.
And that snowball is getting ready to crush them because they want to know why.
Things very, very clearly. You think that it's me? Why would you think that it's me? I have always loved my mom. My mom and I are best friends.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Please don't do yourself an insult. And that's what you're doing. You're still doing it. Okay? Do you not think that we've already talked to some people? Okay? Do you not think that we've talked to everybody? I mean, I'm not going to come in here without having all my things in line. Okay? I want you to understand that.
Of course I understand that. And
we need to get to the why. When we get to the why, then all these other questions I can answer for you, and we can move on with this. Okay? And you're the person that knows the why. You're the only person that knows the why. Okay? And that's where we're at with it. You're the only one that knows the why, and your friends.
sir,
Do you really want to disappoint your friends?
no, of course not.
Okay, then why?
May I please speak?
Well, when we get to the why this happened,
I don't even really know what happened.
okay,
I came here because my mother kicked me out of my house. She and I were having relationship problems. I guess she wanted me to stay a little girl forever. She didn't really like my boyfriend. And she was like, pretty much, if you want to move to Wisconsin with him, fine, go. And I packed my stuff. She basically wanted me out of the house before then because we kept on having arguments, but I'm not a violent person. I would never ever hurt her. And
I'm going to read it. So here we go. At 1 hour, 33 minutes, and 33 seconds, she speaks as if she's the one with autism, okay? The officer starts leading her, mentioning that she has a lot of friends, and she shakes her head in agreement. Yes, she does have a lot of friends, okay? Why? She keeps asking, why? And deflects, again, by saying she has a million questions for the detective, okay? She says, I get things very clearly. You think that it was me. Why would you think it's me? And the audacity, right? I've always loved, past tense, my mom. My mom and I are best friends. Still asking why, shaking her head no. I don't really know what happened. You don't really know what happened? Okay. She and I were having relationship problems. Okay. 2 sentences ago, y'all were besties, right? She didn't like my boyfriend. Now, her boyfriend could not have been Nick because they only met once in all those years, right? So it's not Nick that she's worried about because he's just an internet friend. It's somebody physical that she's meeting up and running away to. It's somebody that's influencing her and getting her to, steal her mother's pain pills. Remember, she's an addict at this point, right? It's, I believe Dan is the one that she ran away to, stole her mother's money, felony, stole her mother's pain pills, felony, and then used them with Dan. But I'm pretty damn sure that if she was able to get pills to Dan, Dan was able to get pills to her, okay? And she even mentions that she has her pain pills, right, that ended up being DeeDee's in the interrogation. So now, right, so we're having relationship problems, right, and we're besties, right? I say the boyfriend is Dan and not Nick, because she says she didn't like my boyfriend. Why would she say she didn't like my boyfriend? Why wouldn't she say she didn't like Nick? You know, the one over there in the other room that I'm throwing under the bus? So now, she said her mom said, if you want to move out to Wisconsin with him, go. Fine. Therefore, Gypsy's whole case of, I had to get away, is false. Right there with that one sentence. She kicked you out. You had no business in her home. Let's continue. Said her mom said, if you want to move to Wisconsin with him, fine, go. If that's true, she said, then if that's true, she has no other reason to off her, right? Other than wanting that house and that safe full of money, okay? She admits here, she packed her bags. Remember we did Nick's the other day, right here? And it says, hold on. He says, he mentions the whole kicked out story as well. I can't find it, but it was yesterday's video. Okay, so now, DeeDee wanted Gypsy out of the house, she said. She said she wanted me out of the house before then. Before what? The 9th? Oh, you mean the 7th? See, this is what I'm seeing that's happening, okay? Candace, how do you know it's the 7th? Well, let me show you. Did you see that? Check this out. He says in his interrogation, on the 10th, I was able to get her to meet me. On the 10th is when I was able to get her to meet me. I texted her on Yahoo and she ghosted him. It confused him. Like on the 10th, there was this long pause of nothingness. Okay. He says that he tried to walk to the hotel. Oh, he gets tired of waiting and walks out of the hotel room and bumps into her. She packed the bag. Remember, she also says that after he made me clean up the blood, forced me to clean up the blood, he packed what clothes he wanted, right? So he brought her bags into the room. The only way you can move around like this is if DeeDee was already gone or hurt, incapacitated, tied up, bound, okay? There's no way that this overprotective mother, because that's the only thing she could call her, was an overprotective mother, would allow Gypsy to be running around the streets doing drugs and all kinds of stuff unless DeeDee was incapacitated. Now let me show you all the evidence I have. He says, first she wanted to, and the stupid detective cuts him off. He was going to tell you a first part and a second part, and you cut him off. He was about to say, first she wanted to do it herself, because she tried to do it herself at first, but she couldn't go through with it. She was trying to probably poison her slowly, and it wasn't working. She probably tried a whole bunch of different other things, and it wasn't working while DeeDee was incapacitated, tied up from the 7th. I believe she inflicted force upon her. Okay, these are my opinions. This is all alleged, but I can back it up. Here you go. Did you see that? But she felt squeamish. She felt squeamish, but she cleaned the blood. She shot her, No, that goes out the window. That's a lie. Okay? This is all just to separate Gypsy from that first and the second part. Remember when she says the actual act? That means there's two things that happen. One, you tried to do it yourself. You got her chained up and whatnot, but you couldn't actually take her out. So that's when Nick came in, because Dan was like, oh, hell no, I ain't doing all that. I'll help you get her into the bed or onto the chair or whatever you need, but I'm not offing her. That you got to find somebody else. She was like, oh, I know the perfect person. Somebody that worships me. So take a look at all this. The very last date crossed out, thank you, babe, on Dee Dee's calendar was the 7th. And I believe she probably crossed out, like most people do, their dates in the morning. Look at her text messages. Look at her text messages. Here you go. Dee Dee was incapacitated on the 7th. Nick didn't get there till the 10th. Gypsy is the only one that had bruises on her. Nick had 0 blood on him. He had 2 specks of blood for a brutal murder. And he cut his hand. His finger. Now, I didn't get to that part yet in the interrogation of Nick's, but somebody did tell me that, because my question was, did he smell bleach when he walked in this house? Yes. Yes. I also want to know, did he feel like it was cold in the house when he walked in? But I can't ask him that. And I'm sure there's too many people asking him questions right now that it's probably irritating at this point. So I don't even want to try to ask. So, tell me your thoughts. Did I just break this wide open?